what happened to Liam Payne of One Direction. He was 31 years old, pop star. He used to belong to the band One Direction. They rose to fame, I think it was 2006-ish. They were immensely famous, the most popular boy band of recent times. And then they stopped performing together. Each of them had solo careers. Liam Payne's solo career was not as successful as he would have hoped. Certainly nothing like the fame he had during his One Direction days. And he's recently, just a few days ago, at the time of this reading, has passed away. And so now we're going to read the energy around him, not his energy. I don't like to disturb the souls of the dead so soon after passing, but the energy around him is what I'm going to be reading. I'm going to be reading, apparently he had, just before his death, he had received contact from his record label to say that they were dropping him. It's well reported that there were substances found in his hotel room, and he unfortunately went over the balcony 3 stories. And the question is, was this something self-inflicted, or was it an accident, is what I'm going to be asking the cards. So tell us about the energy around Liam Payne on that day when he passed away. Cycles, what goes around comes around. He was in what he thought was a downward cycle of his fame. His solo career was still immensely successful, just not anything like his boy band career. But of course, it was coming to an end by being dropped by his record label. But he was a good singer, and he had a loyal following. He may have been able to still make a go of it on his own, or he may have, we certainly had enough money to keep going for the rest of his life. But I'm getting here that he felt like a failure by being dropped by his record label. It felt like the end of the world to him. Unfortunately for him as well, his girlfriend, who had joined him in Argentina for a holiday, had flown back home when he got this news. Priestess of Fire. Felt like the world was burning. There was a lot of angry energy around him. He was angry, he was frustrated, he was hurt. And there was some destruction in the hotel room, so that mirrors that destruction vision. He had a vision of what he thought his life was going to be once he was so famous in One Direction. He didn't imagine a time when a record label would discard him. And so being dropped by the record label didn't sit with his vision of what he wanted for his life. Yeah, he had a very rigid view of what he wanted for his life. He was wishing that his contract would be renewed, but his wishes were not fulfilled. Yeah, when they started out, the boy band, it was all fun and games. They were playful, just young things. But he became more and more serious as time came on. All right, cards, let us know about Liam Payne. Liam Payne. I'm getting he was in pain at the end. Liam Payne. Indecision. He was at a crossroads. He wasn't sure which way to go. For sure, it was unwise to go out onto that balcony. I'm getting the decision point was whether or not to go out on the balcony. Once he was on the balcony, a decision had already been made. A decision had already been made. Tell us more, cards. His heart chakra. His heart was breaking. His heart was breaking. He really did feel that this was the end of the world. Community. He missed the others in the band. He missed the fun that they had together. He missed the glory days. So I'm getting that this may have been self-inflicted. Obviously, when you're under the control of substances, you're not thinking straight. You're not thinking clearly. Yeah. He would have been wise to... He wasn't wise. He just reacted out of pain. He would have been wise to let the dust settle, see how he felt in the morning. He was exhausted. He was exhausted. See how that girl is lying, resting on the sea turtle. Chasing fame just made him exhausted. He was exhausted, and no matter what he was doing, he was trying, it wasn't working. Wasn't working. This card here, the lioness, it says protection. I think his girlfriend was a real buffer for him. She helped him through some difficult times. She protected him from himself when he had some wild impulses, and his protection wasn't there. She had left to go home. I'm not sure why she left. He seemed to be in fine spirits before she left, or when she left. Armadillo, this again is another protection card. And it says groundedness. He wasn't very grounded. And he felt vulnerable. He felt vulnerable. He felt like he was outside of himself, watching his world burn. Okay, cards. Was it an accident? Was it an accident? I get from there that he was ready to meet his maker. But he regretted it. That's my death card. This is my being dragged into the other world. So he was very depressed. But here, this card here is telling me that he did not want to die. He didn't want to die. But he felt that part of him had died when his contract was not renewed. This is my kicking and screaming card, somebody dragging you. So if he had not been addled by drugs, this would never have happened. Whether it was an accident or not, this would never have happened. He wasn't in his right mind. He wasn't in his right mind. It was not an intentional act in the sense of he was not in his right mind. Yeah, that was he was having a bad trip, and not only that, but he felt like his world had ended. And if he did do it deliberately, once he realized that he was not going to survive, he would have regretted it. He did not want to die. He did not want to die. Yeah, he was seduced by fame and glory. Although he did not want to die, he did something that he regretted. He did something that he regretted, and that was the choice point to go out onto that balcony. He chose to go out on the balcony. That was not a mistake. That was not an accident. And he felt almost like he was outside of himself, watching himself, not in control of his faculties. And so it was something that he did to himself. I'm getting from these cards, this is just allegedly, for just reading the energy of the cards, something that he felt like he was disconnected from himself. He made a poor decision, and that resulted in what happened. If he had been in his right mind, or if his girlfriend, who was his protector, if she had been there, she would have been able to give him some perspective on the situation. But the impulse to go ahead and have that, to take those drugs, the decision to take the drugs really was the thing that did him in, and that led to all of the rest. What a sad, sad case. If you have difficulties with substance abuse, there are programs that can help you. There are things, helplines that you can call. Please do not suffer in silence. If you have mental health issues, if you have ideation of harming yourself, please reach out to somebody. Even if you don't have family members or somebody that you can call on. There are always online helplines in every country that you can call. Please get help and put yourself somewhere where you're with people. Even if you go down to your local hospital, they will take care of you. Or to the local church, people there will talk to you and will help you. Sending you love and blessings. What a very sad, sad reading. May the angels walk with you now and always.